This is the Sony 28 to 70 millimeter f3.5 to 5.6 lens, and you might think I'm crazy to use it when I have a 24 to 70 Sigma Art lens, which is way bigger, lets in tons more light, and also gives you a much blurrier background. So why do I still keep this lens around? Well, it's really easy. It is these three words right here: optical steady shot. For video outdoors, with a Sony a7 IV body, like the one that I'm filming this video on literally right now. This is such a nice setup. The lens itself is very, very small. You can see that it fits into one hand. And when you go from 28, it gets a little bit longer. When you go to 70, it also changes physically in size, but it doesn't get all that big. You can see even at 28, it just pokes out a tiny bit of a protrusion right there. And it has stability control, or the steady shot, as Sony calls it, which is really, really good for slow-mo video. You can check that out right here. Now, on the front of the lens, you can see that it has this infinite focus ring, so you can keep on spinning. You can manually override focus at any point. It is really, really nice and smooth. And then the zoom ring itself is a little bit heavier, but it zooms in nice and slow. On the front, we have a fairly small glass element because it doesn't need to be all that large. It's only a 55 millimeter element, and that's because this is a f3.5 lens. So keep in mind that as you zoom in, it's going to get darker. So the biggest you can get the aperture, the f/ number, is 3.5, and then the biggest you can get when you're zoomed in at 70 is 5.6. So you're not going to get like beautiful blurred backgrounds with this lens necessarily, but you can get really smooth shots with it. So that's why I still keep this thing around. It's also significantly cheaper than 24 to 70. They do serve different purposes, but for video, especially if it's outdoors, I'm typically using the steady shot 28 to 70 lens. I highly recommend just keeping it in your bag, even as a backup lens. It can do very, very well for the price, and I highly recommend it.